Hello and a happy Monday to you, if you can be happy in light of what happened yesterday in Arlington. And I hope that we'll all take at least a moment and some time to observe the significance of Martin Luther King Day and what that stands for. It was the right decision to cancel the march here in San Antonio because of the cold weather, but that doesn't mean that we can't carry that spirit in our hearts. Okay, what I tell you, once again, the National Football League and the officials screwed the Dallas Cowboys. I'm telling you right now, Dez Bryant made that catch yesterday. 1, 2, 3. Yes, some of you sound every bit that stupid. And before I get into breaking the game down, consider this. A fan base doesn't just reflect a franchise. In some cases, a fan base sets the tone for the franchise. And last week, leading up to that game, all I heard and saw on social media was still people bitching about the Dez Bryant catch or no catch. This is what happens when you lose sight of why you play football. I'm still hearing, "We them boys." I'm still hearing, "Well, at least we're still America's team." Whatever the hell that means, because it's never had any meaning. We lead the league in television ratings. We lead the league in merchandise sales. Is that all you want to be? Apparently. So sometimes we get what we demand when we set the standard. And the standard was not met once again. To confirm the obvious, McCarthy now has to go, and he will go because Jerry can't keep him at this point. If he could, he probably would to save some money, etc., but he knows that he can't. And I have no ill will toward Mike McCarthy. I thought in general he did a pretty good job this year, until it counted, of course. But you can't do what Mike McCarthy did yesterday after that game. You can't make a statement saying, "We picked a bad day to have a bad day." That is a slap in the face of your fan base. That wasn't just a bad day. That was a total lack of preparation. And the thing that shocked me, was it obvious to you from the jump that Dallas was just not ready to play? The Packers take the opening kickoff, 80-yard, 12-play drive that takes 8 minutes. Bam, bam, bam. And it was physical domination. And tell me, who looked like the cool, experienced, playoff-savvy quarterback yesterday in that game? Was it Dak Prescott or was it Jordan Love? Rhetorical question, obviously. I thought briefly, naively, that the Cowboys had a chance to kind of get back in the game in the opening moments of the third quarter, but that didn't happen because they self-destructed. So now what? We, including me, had all assumed that Dan Quinn was going to ride out in triumph and he was going to go back to Seattle where he cut his teeth and he was going to be the head coach of the Seahawks. Can you hire him now based off that performance yesterday? Who was that defense out there? They were doing things they hadn't done all year. And once again, this was borne out. The Cowboy defense has to force takeaways to win football games. When they don't get a takeaway, they lose every time. As someone once said, you can look it up. And they can't stop the run. And if you can't stop the run, you can't win playoff football. So now what happens? Actually, the Belichick thing makes some sense and could happen because Jerry, the huckster, P.T. Barnum, has got to make a splash right now. And the hoodie wants to continue to coach. Dallas does have an attractive roster. But now you get into the question of, well, would Jones cede enough power to the hoodie? Well, let the hoodie take care of that because the hoodie's not going to get himself in a situation where he doesn't have the power. I go way back as a Cowboy fan because, yeah, we're going to be here a while, Joe. way back as a Cowboy fan, like dating back to those Cleveland playoff disasters in 68 and 69. And that's exactly what yesterday meant and reminded me of. And I think we really ought to rename the Cowboy football franchise, the Dallas football franchise. They are now the Dallas Lucies, because they'll con you every time. They'll get you fired up every time. And at the last second, Lucy is going to move the football. And that's what happened. But if you want to feel better about the sport, did you see that game last night between the Lions and the Rams? Magnificent on the part of both teams. I thought the Rams rallied well this season, and all the best to the Lions. The people of Detroit deserve that. So today we'll find out where the Texans are going to play and who they're going to play in the divisional round. If Buffalo wins tonight, then Houston's going to Baltimore. That ain't much of a bargain. On the other hand, if the Steelers win, then the Texans will play at Arrowhead against Kansas City. That one, for a variety of reasons, might be winnable. So, let our off-season fat chewing continue. And once again, we'll get sucked in because that's what we do. But it's not going to change until some fundamental changes are made. And that team and that franchise realizes that football is a demanding sport played by nasty old people. And I didn't see, and I'm paraphrasing Pop here, I guess, I didn't see any nasty yesterday. You picked a bad day to have a bad day, and that's how you justify and rationalize that playoff disaster? You, as Cowboy fans, deserve better than that. But you have to deliver better than that. Knock it off about America's team. Knock it off about we dem boys. I don't give a flying flip about television ratings. I don't give a flying flip about merchandise sales. Winning football games is about winning football games. Tonight, don't let your caucuses freeze. Try to have a good day. We are radically rational.